Welcome to another episode of This Thing Called Podcast. If this is your first time, I'm your host KJ, and we are here with another episode. Now, we're still in February, so if you haven't watched my last couple episodes in February, go back, rewatch them, because top of the episode, we always started off with Black History facts. So let's go ahead and get into the two I'm going to give you today. The first one. Madam C.J. Walker created a line of hair care products for African American women, leading her to later become the first female African American self-made millionaire. Now you can watch her Netflix series based on her journey titled Self-Made. So if you have Netflix, if you have a chance to check it out, go watch it. It's a really good series speaking on and the life of Madam C.J. Walker. Now for the second fact. Agricultural scientist George Carver was responsible for creating over 500 new products. He developed 3 derivative products from peanuts, including milk, flour, dyes, plastic, wood stains, soaps, medicinal oils, and cosmetics. And then 118 came from sweet potatoes. So we have vinegar, molasses, synthetic rubbers, postage stamp glues, all of those examples. So shout out to Madam C.J. Walker. Shout out to George Carver. Again, Black excellence. It's in us. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. Let's keep researching. Let's keep finding out about it. Again, we're not all about slavery. There are so many other things that Black people have accomplished and did outside of slavery. So let's go ahead and look into those. So you guys, getting into our episode, it's been a week for KJ, a week. So many things personally going on and changes being made. I'll probably speak on those in the upcoming weeks or so, but this weekend is All-Star Weekend, you guys. We got the weekend. We got the game on Sunday. So just like last weekend, we had the Super Bowl. This weekend, we have All-Star Weekend. So let's have fun. Get out. Enjoy time. If you're going to be in these cities where it is happening, have fun. Live life. Do what you do. And then Tuesday, we have Mardi Gras. So this weekend, we have this weekend, we have All-Stars. We have Mardi Gras coming up as well. That's Fat Tuesday. So all this weekend, we got Mardi Gras in New Orleans, celebrations going on. So let's do it. Now, if you don't know anything about Fat Tuesday, it starts or is the day before Lent. So if you know nothing about Lent, that's a 40-day journey that Christians take where they cut off certain foods. So eggs, milk, lard, cheese, meats, things of that sort. They just eat very basic things that really you just need to survive, not all the extras. So that's Fat Tuesday. Know anything about Punchkis? That's Punchki Day, as everyone's called it as well. The little fat-filled donuts that just are so delicious and sugary. Those are this weekend as well. So enjoy yourself, have fun, and then after Fat Tuesday is Ash Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, that's when that starts, and that's also, again, the start of Lent. So that is a 46-day journey where you go through and you basically fast. You basically are monitoring what you eat, and you are getting yourself ready for Easter. That's really what it leads into, and that's the Easter weekend. So again, I like to, stay cultural, even though I don't celebrate necessarily these holidays and these events. I like to stay cultured. I like to give everyone on this platform a chance to celebrate themselves and celebrate who they are. So we're going to talk about it all, you guys. Don't think we're just going to talk about African American or Black stuff. We're going to talk about everything. So stay tuned, stay focused, enjoy yourselves this weekend. If you're participating in any of these, have fun. Let KJ know what you do this weekend. Go ahead and put it in the comment section. Let me know, do you hang out Mardi Gras weekend? Are you going to the All-Star game or having fun at their festivities this weekend? Because, there's the celebrity game on Saturday. So are you enjoying any of these? Is the question at hand. Now, because I am in Detroit and because there was some tragic things that happened about a week and a half ago, I do want to touch base. First and foremost, my prayers and my condolences go out to the 3 Michigan rappers that were found dead in Highland Park. They were missing for quite some time, almost 2 weeks before they were found, for their bodies were found. So again, prayers go out to their family. It's just so tragic when you hear things like this and certain news that, comes out. When I got involved with it, they had been missing for about a week or so when I learned. So you always hope for the best, but unfortunately that did not transpire in this situation. And whomever is involved, because it sounds like it was a setup, I personally hope that they are caught. They may not be, but I hope they are, because my opinion, my suggestions, my thoughts, it was a setup. I believe these 3 guys were set up, and that's unfortunate, but that is part of the culture of the city of Detroit. So you have to move smart. You have to move wise. You got to be mindful. There was 3 of them together, and they all still got, so to speak. So even moving in crowds does not work nowadays. You have to be vigilant. You have to be mindful. If you don't feel it, if it doesn't feel safe, if there's that little thing in the pit of your gut that's like, maybe I shouldn't, then maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should leave it alone. Maybe you should walk away from it. I am a manager for a couple different artists and have been. So I understand, especially when you're independent, the drive you have to want to get out there, get your face out there, get your music out there, start shaking hands and getting into circles that can benefit your career. I understand that, but you still have to do it smart. You still have to move wisely. Not everyone is out for your best interest, and some people are out to get what you have, even if it's little to nothing. They still want to have what you have because you have more than what they have. So again, I'm just saying that all in general, but keep that in mind. My prayers are out to their families, their loved ones, their children that they have. It's always sad when we lose, people in the world, but me specifically, Black men. That just hits a little different for me. It always has, and I think it always will, regardless of the circumstance or situation. Just knowing that 3 other Black men have lost, their lives and are no longer on this earth to help provide for their family and their children is something devastating. So we can move on from there. I don't have much to talk about this week because, again, I told you it's been a long week, but let's really quick touch on sex for a minute, because when it comes to sex, there are so many things that can surround and go around that. So just really quick, just to do a little intro into a full-fledged conversation I want to have later on. But remember, sex is something that is beneficial for both parties. So regardless of your sexual preference or whom you choose to have sex with, when you do or when anyone engages in the act of sex, it should be, if it's done correctly, both parties being pleasured from it. And I say all that to say because specifically women, we like to use sex as a caveat or as a means to get what we want or as a way to manipulate or control the situation. And that's not fair. Me personally, I don't do it because, one, I don't think it's fair and I don't think it's right, because we all have choices and we all have decisions that we can make within our lives. So if you choose not to do something, even if we're together in a relationship or not, if you choose not to do something or move a certain way, it is unfair. Who am I to withhold sex? Because first and foremost, I love sex. Me personally, KJ loves sex. So I'm not going to withhold something that I also enjoy doing just to control or manipulate someone else in a situation. And vice versa. It should not be that way. My partner should not withhold sex from me because I didn't do something that he liked or he didn't, agree with, or he wants to control, manipulate it. That should not be fair. If anything, when we come together and you have sex with your partner, then you should be having sex in the goal to increase and to expound your bond with that person, to intimize your guys' relationship, to really get it solidified, because that's what sex does. Sex is not only the act to create children and to repopulate the earth and to keep humanity growing to a extent, but it's also a pleasure thing. And it's also a way for couples to be intimate with each other and to bond in a very intimate way that is different and special than anybody else that you should be interacting with on earth. Especially when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're trying to build that type of bond, or you're in a marriage with somebody and you're continuing to build that bond. Because even when you get married, Building the bond, keeping the bond strong does not stop. You have to continue, and sex helps with that. It should not be the only thing you do to help with your intimacy or to help increase your bond with your partner. You should also do date night. You should also hang out, talk, chill in a non-sexual manner. But sex is a way to get that attraction back. I spoke on attraction a couple weeks ago. So if you didn't watch the episode, go back a couple weeks ago, watch my attraction episode. Attraction is more than just sex, it's more than just physical. Same thing with sex. Sex is more than just physical. It is a bond that you're creating. So remember that when you guys get into relationships, when you try to I say that to women specifically, when you try to use or manipulate sex in relationships, remember that. Because women, just like you have the choice to control it or to use it as a manipulation tactic, men have their own rights and their own ways to go about their business, go find sex another way. Because just because you don't want to have sex doesn't mean there's other women out there. And I'm not talking about the statement, well, what one woman won't do, another one will. I'm not saying all that, or vice versa. What one man won't do, another one will. I'm not speaking on that. But what I am speaking on in general is, if a man doesn't want to give a woman sex, if a woman doesn't want to give man sex, then that other person has the right to go get their pleasures and their needs met. Now, we'll speak on this and just quick touch. Cheating is not included in this topic as well. So let's not take this episode, you guys, and run with it like KJ said, you're cheating your partner. That is not what I said. Okay, what KJ said is to use sex as a way to bond. And if a person that you're with is not trying to give you what you want, then you can choose to get it elsewhere. So if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're constantly trying to get sex and they're not trying to give it, then you do have the right to leave that relationship, sever all ties with that person, and get into a new relationship or find someone else that is willing to give you what you need physically or sexually. That does not mean that when you're in a relationship with somebody and they're not giving you sex, that you go and cheat on them, or you find somebody in the midst of that relationship to give you what you want. That is not what KJ is saying, okay? We don't cheat. Cheating is not cool. Cheating is not something we should do. And again, I will touch on this in another episode as well. But in this topic, we are not referring to cheating, and KJ does not condone cheating. If you're not getting what you want in a relationship, you leave that relationship and you move on and you get what you need to get after you sever ties in that one. Okay, you guys? So again, real quick touch base on sex and just the basis of it, what it is. I'm going to bring you guys in a couple weeks a whole full-fledged episode on sex. We're going to get deep into the dirtiness of it, the benefits of sex, what men look at for sex, what women look towards the sex, because even men and women view sex completely different. So to understand how we as humans relate and view things can help us relate to each other as well on different levels. So you guys, I thank you for joining me. This was a quick episode this week. Again, I always tell you guys I'm going to bring you an episode every Friday, regardless of how quick or small, big or small it is. I'm going to bring you one. I'm here with you guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some new things coming in the upcoming weeks. So I thank you. I appreciate hearing you guys, I appreciate being with you guys this week and you guys sharing your time with me as well. Remember, subscribe, like, share, whatever you're listening to this on, do that for me, please, right now. Let's stop what we're doing. Let's go like it and let's share it with somebody new this week. That's your goal, you guys. Share this episode, share any episode with somebody that you talked to this week about this thing called podcast. Again, I'm KJ. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I will see you guys next Friday. As you all know, that is our day. Have a good day, you guys. Enjoy your week.